So, welcome back to Just Your Garage, and I am back for the second day of the Thrash to get this thing back down on its own wheels. Where I left it off, I just got the transmission back together after a little debacle with the needle bearing and needles falling. Yeah, so the plan today is to get that trans back in the car, get the tank out, get the other tank in, put the fuel sender back in that tank, because I've had that fuel sender open, so we're there. Had that open and looked it through because it didn't really work. That is the original one from this car. The one that's in it now is the one from the green one. So I'm going to put the original one back in, because I've gone through it, I know it works. I'm going to go over it with a wire wheel brush and clean up the posts a bit, because they're a bit rusty. I'm not sure about the resistance, if that's the right resistance, but I know it works. It ranges from about 10 to 60 ohms. I'm hoping that's right, because this thing has never had a functioning gas gauge ever, well, since I had it. And yeah, trans in, tank swapped, rear suspension up underneath it. Front wheels, rear wheels, hooked the parking brake up, do some fuel lines. Well, there are plastic lines on the car, but I've cut them, and I've robbed the hoses in the engine bay, put them on the Cortina. So some hoses and fixed the plastic lines where I cut them, and put a door on. Then she should be able to either drive out or be rolled out. So yeah, get to it. So here we are quite a few hours later. Winter tires are on at the front. Transmission is back in the car. Starter is out because I have to jack the trans back up to get that in. Not much has been done here, except the rear suspension is back in and hooked up. Parking brake, new Monroe shocks. The brake hard lines. The brake hard lines connected, and everything is back together. Door has come inside the defrost. Next step now will be to get the trans up, wheels on, and let it down. So it's been quite a few hours yet again. The trans is up, the drive shaft is connected, the exhaust manifold's back on the engine, the one that broke in the crash, and it's sitting on its own four wheels. This is just super exciting. Tomorrow I'll have to get some fuel hose, to reconnect it where I cut it under here. Also reinstall the hoses in the engine bay, because stole them, put them on the Cortina. Also put a filter in there. I am going to go on Facebook and try to find a 5-speed or automatic cross member for the trans, because I still just have the 4-speed one and it's kind of sloppy in there. And the driver's door window, because I don't have one. I have a backup plan of taking the glass out of the passenger door and getting a mirror image Lexan one made, just to have a window in case I can't find a driver's door window. And also see if I can maybe get a hold of these black plastic louvers that are supposed to be here. Maybe a headliner, because I have the rear window out and the front window has to come out because, well, broken very badly on a brand new gasket. Well, it was brand new 3 years ago, and I have a brand new one for the rear window. So I'm gonna put all that back together. Hopefully, maybe get a headliner first. But yeah, it is back on its own four wheels for first time since May 12th, when it turned into a three-wheeler. and I am super stoked. Just add battery and the fuel lines. This thing can drive as is. Because you have to remember, I had to replace that section right there. That is one of 3 pickup points for the rear suspension. And getting that exactly where it has to be in order to get that rear suspension in. Just that, measuring and figuring out that it has to go like that. It was a lot of work. But it's all paid off because it has a wheel again. And the brakes are connected. Parking brakes connected. The diff has new oil. The trans has new oil. Yeah. In some strange way, this is actually in better condition now than it was right before I crashed it. Because now it doesn't have rust from here back there. It used to. The rocker was really rusted. And the wheel arch was really bad. So yeah. All in all, I think this is actually better now than it was when I crashed it. Brand new tires. Hankook iPike RS2s in 175/80/14 standard size. If you are noticing this lug nut, it's not tight. It's because I was missing one, and I found one long after I put the wheels on it, so that's just on there, so I don't lose it. Yeah, fuel lines, one to go on there and one to go from the fuel pump up to the carb, and to fix the maggle mess under there. Fuel in the tank, battery, it should fire up. So the car's sitting outside, which means it runs. I had to make a new trans cross member because I'd only modified the 4-speed one and that didn't really work, so I had to make a new one. Put the 5-speed up there properly, and there's a different car that has to go in there now, so this thing is just staying outside for a little bit and then going back in. But yeah, like I said, it runs.